Hey yogis, in this video I'm going to break down Cobra Pose, or bhujangasana as it's called in Sanskrit. I'm also going to give you a few tips to stay safe and especially to keep your lower back safe, which is the most common complaint I hear about this pose. So to get into Cobra Pose, just come down onto your belly and then take your hands underneath your shoulders. Draw your elbows in as close to your ribs as you can. Let your forehead rest for now. Press your pubic bone down into the mat and then send your tailbone towards your pubic bone. Press the tops of your toes down. Press your ankles down. And then begin to lift up by engaging the upper back muscles. Pressing into your hands, lift your chest and forehead off the mat. And then from here, begin to lengthen your arms. Keep drawing your elbows in close towards your ribs. Gaze can go forward. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. And then exhale, release, come back down. So one of the common tendencies when we move up into our Cobra Pose is to take the elbows out wide, and then when you press down into your hands, you begin to kind of scrunch the shoulders up towards your ears. So by the time you lift up, you have kind of this hunched back look. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but we want to try to get the shoulders down away from the ears. So we're going to spin the outer upper arms in towards our center, so drawing the elbows in close to the ribs and maybe even taking the eye of the elbow towards the front of your mat. From here, draw your shoulders down your back, almost like you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. And breathe, send your heart forward, and then exhale, come all the way down again. Now let's take a moment to look at the lower back, because this is an area where a lot of people complain about back pain. So in order to engage the lower back and keep it from collapsing, we're going to press that pubic bone down into the mat and tuck the tailbone towards the pubic bone. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about this in just a moment. So we have this sort of tilt, and at the same time we're drawing the navel in. And now this is going to engage the whole back as we press up. So now we are not compressing that lower back by letting it dump forward. And then come all the way down. Now, it's certainly not necessary to come all the way up. And one of the reasons your lower back might hurt is because maybe you're not quite ready to have your arms extended like I have here. And so you're forcing something that you're just not ready for yet, which is most definitely going to compress the lower back. So if you have your cobra down here, this is still okay. This is still a cobra. And from here, you can always move into your other postures. And as you build your flexibility, you may be able to come up into a higher cobra. So let's pay attention to that lower back, tucking the tailbone, drawing the navel in. One little exercise that you can do to find that is to come onto your back and kind of like you're setting up for a bridge pose. You can have your feet hips width apart, knees bent, and you'll notice that you have a little bit of space between your lower back and the mat, and that's the natural curve of your spine. From here, press the belly button in and press the lower back into the mat. So now you've tilted the pelvis forward, and that's really what I mean by taking that tailbone up towards your pubic bone. You can kind of think of it like a dog with a tail between its legs, how it comes from behind and forward. And so you can sort of play around here by tilting the pelvis, pressing the lower back into the mat, and then coming back to that natural curve. And this is going to help you with all kinds of back bends to really engage through the spine so that you're not putting too much compression on the lower back. So then when we come back down into our Cobra Pose, we'll find that again, and we'll just go over everything I mentioned all in one. So hands underneath the shoulders, elbows drawn close towards your ribs. Press the tops of your toes down and your ankles down. Press your pubic bone down. Draw the tailbone in, lift the navel, and then engage your back as you lift up. Keep lengthening the arms to wherever is available to you. So as I mentioned, it's not necessary to come all the way up if this is your stopping point. Draw your shoulders away from your ears, send your heart forward, and then if you're going to take it into an up dog, that's basically just lifting the knees off the mat. So here you would let the knees hover. You'll have a slight engagement through the glutes, Really kind of press out through the toes and then release. From here, just take it into a child's pose to release through your lower back. And take a few breaths here. And then make your way up into a seat. I hope that this video was useful. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see other videos like this one or practice with me, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This helps me to keep putting out free videos for you to enjoy. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on your mat. Namaste.